Hey guys, Ryan here. Thank you for joining me for a new video. In this one, I want to continue my Amazon merch mini series for 2020. I want to show you my niche research process when I'm going to design new t-shirts to sell through the Amazon merch portal. I'm going to be using two tools primarily. That's going to be Merch Informer and Merch Ninja. Those are my two go-tos. And then I'm also going to show you how I use my free search merch tool in conjunction with DS Amazon Quick View, which is also free. It's a Chrome extension, and how I use those to validate niches without any paid tools. So I'm gonna give you a couple options, give you some insights into my process, and I'm gonna go jump on my computer and we can get started. Thanks again for joining me, guys. Real quick before we even start, I just wanna let you know that tomorrow I'm planning on dropping a video where I share the story of a 7-figure profit Amazon merch seller. I'm gonna share with you their full story and you can decide if it's something you wanna try to implement in your own merch business. By the way, this seller cracked $1 million profit back in 2018. So it is a very impressive story. All right, today is part 7 of the Amazon merch mini series. I'm going to give you a niche research process that I use on my own, and I'm going to share with you what tools I use as well. Real quick before we start, let me introduce myself for the new viewers. I'm Ryan Hogue. I've sold over $1.7 million on Amazon to date, and $250,000 have come through Amazon merch. If you want to follow the links in the description, I've got a free 7-day Amazon merch mini course delivered via email, 1 lesson a day. I've also got an Amazon merch Facebook community. I'd love to see you there. And if you aren't already subscribed and you don't want to, if I didn't sell you on hitting that subscribe button by telling you I'm going to drop a crazy video tomorrow with that story, you should consider subscribing just to follow along with my monthly income reports. You can track my progress as an Amazon merch seller. You can also go back in time to when I first started and see how long it took me to go from making $10 to $100, $100 to $1,000. I haven't gone from 1,000 to 10,000 yet. I think my best month was right around 4,000. But yeah, you can go back in time, check all those out. Also, last thing before we get started, I have a full Amazon merch course, over 60 lectures. It is a full knowledge transfer from me to you. I've been selling on merch for 3.5 years. I'm in tier 100,000. If you would like to check that out, there's a link in the description. All right, let's get back to it. Niche research. We're going to look for high demand, low competition niches. And I'm planning on showing you how to use 3 tools, all right? The first is going to be Merch Informer. The second one is Merch Ninja. If you're wondering what the difference between the two is, I don't blame you. They sound very similar. These tools, they try to identify opportunity for us, the seller. Now, it's not that hard to identify like the best sellers on Amazon because honestly, Amazon wants to put the best sellers out in front of the customers. There's a reason why they're best sellers, right? It's because customers are buying them. But where these tools help is assisting us in finding the high demand, low competition niches. So I'm going to show you how we can utilize both of them to do that. And I'm also going to show you a third method in case you're balling on a budget and you don't want to spend, I think it's around $10 a month for Merch Informer. If you don't want to spend that, you can try to use my third method, which is using my free search merch tool on ryanhogue.com. And you use that in conjunction with DS Amazon Quick View. And it works. I mean, honestly, it works. It's a decent way of, it's not going to spit out niches for you, but it's a good way of validating niches in case you had an idea or in case you want to check if keywords are safe to use. So let's start with Merch Informer. Let's start off with Merch Informer. This is probably the most popular Amazon merch research tool. Now, I just want to be on the record. I don't think it's required to use a research tool, but it's definitely a popular option, especially if you're new to Amazon merch. It'll help you avoid mistakes and fast track you to finding valuable niches. I mean, that's the truth. If you've never signed up before, by the way, and you want to use the link in the description, you can get a free, I think, 3-day trial. So you get 3 days for free. And then also if you end up signing up, you can save 20% using the code Ryan's Method. I'll put that all in the link in the description. But I'm already signed in over here. And when I come into Merch Informer, the first thing that I go to is product search in the top left corner. All right. So if I click product search, whoops, I just click tutorials. Well, first of all, when you log in, you see tutorials. So it's worth pointing out that they've got a ton of tutorials of the different ways you can use Merch Informer. So you don't have to lean on me and how I use it. By the way, though, if you do join my Amazon merch course, I go extensively into how I use Merch Informer. I dedicated a whole module to it. So you can come here to product search, and then I just typed in the seed keyword funny and I searched. I did this preemptively because sometimes the search can take up to like a minute. So I figured, hey, let's just start here. Marketplace, you want to start with the US market. The reason for that is that it has the highest earning potential. Amazon US has the most customers. If it has the most customers, it has the most earning potential. Unless I guess if somehow overseas there was some market with less customers spending more money, but that's not the case. All right, and then category, merch by Amazon t-shirts. You're gonna wanna sell t-shirts. It is the best selling product type on Amazon merch. So if your goal is to, whether you're in tier 10 or tier 100,000, if your goal is to get sales and make money and scale up your account, you're gonna wanna sell on, in my mind at least, the biggest marketplace and the most popular product type, unless you're selling some niche that makes sense to put on other product types. All right, so I just typed in funny, and you'll notice it gave us a bunch of results. Up here, it does kind of a summary of the results. So it says keyword funny, that's what I typed in. Total results said 48, but that's just on the first page. So it's not like there's only 48 results indexed on the word funny. Also, you can see it's still working, so it's still shuffling the order of these results that were returned. Average BSR, 113,000. That is a very good average BSR. That's definitely getting like a sale a day, if not more. Lowest price, and this is again, I think scraping from just page 1. It might be going beyond page 1. That might be why it's going on a delay, but it says 47 results, so most likely still page 1. Lowest price, $15.95, so they're making a healthy royalty there of around $2 and probably 20 cents. Highest price, $22.99, so they're making a nice royalty, probably $7 and change. Average price, so you've got that as well. If you want to undercut the average price, this is a nice price target here. You see $18.81, so you might want to come in at like $17.99, although I do recommend for the new sellers, like you definitely, if you're in tier 10, you just want to list your shirts at min price, $13.07, try to get that sale, defer profitability till you scale your account up. You'll be rewarded in the fourth quarter, don't worry. Whoops, I just hit the back button. Okay, here we are again. And it's returning shirts that are indexed on the keyword funny. Now, this isn't telling us anything about competition, but what it's already doing is showing us shirts that are selling quite well. Like you'll notice here, we can see the BSRs of the shirts in green. This first one has a BSR of 1,963. I believe they are placed in order of BSR. So lowest BSR sells the most, and they're going to be listed at the top. It's estimating 1,170 sales. Now, I don't know if that's supposed to be daily, weekly, what. I think that's probably closer to a daily estimate than a weekly estimate. Personally, my guess would have been that this is doing somewhere in the range of like 400 to even 500 sales a day. But BSR and figuring out how many sales it equates to, it's inconsistent and it's hard because Amazon doesn't give us that exact data point. So really these tools just estimate. For instance, I checked this on Jungle Scout, and Jungle Scout was estimating that they were doing about 120 sales a day. You can also see like the Pluto shirt, again, BSR 6,777, 360 estimated sales. By the way, higher price points, so that's really good for this shirt. What this isn't telling us though is competition. So you can actually run a quick competition check by hitting the bar chart here. And after a couple seconds, it should return the number of products, I believe this is how it works, indexed on, it says with this label. So I guess it's taking the primary keywords from it, running it through Amazon and seeing how many products are returned. Now, my personal preferred approach of doing that is using my search merch tool, which I'll walk you through later. But also, if we're not sure if this is a good niche for us to get in, why don't we just copy the title and then come on over here to Trend Tracker. All right. So actually not Trend Tracker. Sorry, that's not where I want to go with this. I want to go to Competition Checker. So that's on the sidebar here under favorites, go to keywords and paste. Then I hit search and we wait. By the way, Trend Tracker, this is just another one that I wanted to share with you guys. This is a good way of monitoring t-shirts that are not selling really well right now because BSR it's a current data point. BSR is literally, it's updates throughout the day at unknown intervals. So it's constantly refreshing and it's constantly changing. With Trend Tracker, it's monitoring BSR over time, averaging out the BSR over a period of time that we specify. So you can actually come over here. You can go to 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And if you're looking for evergreen designs, come on over here to Trend Tracker, switch this to 3 months, and then hit search. You can also change the BSR. So personally, I like to go to BSR 100,000 to 200,000 or higher. I just automatically assume that there's less competition there. There's also a lot less Marvel shirts the higher BSR you go, because you do see a lot of like protected t-shirts that we can't sell in the lower BSRs because there's so much brand recognition. For instance, we just saw an Iron Man shirt and a Spider-Man shirt. And then naturally, as I say that, we got a Pikachu shirt, but you'll just have to scroll through those. But you'll notice here, you can see on the chart, it gives you the sales rank over time, and then it calculates the average 3-month BSR. So this will give you some ideas of niches to target that you would consider evergreen, because they are mainstays of low BSRs, relatively low, right? All right, coming back to the competition checker, we ran anti-Trump, vote detergent, funny vintage t-shirt. Maybe we should have been more specific with our keywords. These were broad, and you can see it only returned 39 products online, 35 with BSR. So 35 of 39 got sales, by the way. That's what that means. If it doesn't have a BSR, no sales. But that's representative of a niche that's selling first and foremost. But what if we say like anti-Trump vote detergent? This probably will give us the best results. So we'll wait for that to run. And let's come back over here to the product search, and just wanted to let you know you can also do a quick trademark check. So click the shield icon with the check mark. It'll take you to Trademarkia, and if you don't see immediately results, then it's not protected. So you should be good to go. However, that doesn't mean that the Amazon merch algorithm won't incorrectly think it was trademarked, because that does happen all the time, and that's a separate topic for a video that I already recorded as a part of this series. Okay, so let's check the competition checker. Here we go. Anti-Trump vote detergent, grades it a C, 121 products online, 107 with BSR. That's still a really high sales rate though. And oh wait, now it just updated to an F. So lets you know immediately what Merch Informer thinks of this niche. It thinks that you should probably look somewhere else. And that's just a quick example of how you can go to the product search, see shirts that are selling well, which does not necessarily mean it translates into a niche that you should pursue. Again, rely on the advanced competition checker. You can use product search for ideas. You don't have to. I would lean heavier on the advanced competition checker. Seed it with not just one keyword, give it like specific keywords, you know? That's called niching down, by the way. And also, if you need ideas for evergreens, you might check out the trend tracker here. And by the way, like, this kid loves monster trucks. So maybe we just type that in over here. This kid loves monster trucks. That seems a little bit more niched down. There's 5 primary keywords there. And while it runs, we could also pop on over here to the search merch tool, which again, this is going to filter out non-Amazon merch products. We can paste it here as well. Search t-shirts, 292 results returned. And using DS Amazon Quick View, we can see that the bestseller ranks of the first row are all in the 100,000. Well, okay, first two, 150,000, 129,000, 330, 365. That to me is an attractive niche. 300,000 BSR means it's making probably a sale every day or close to it. And then consistently on page 1, we're seeing BSRs of under 1 million, which is pretty good. Although you don't see too many shirts that are like exact matches on this kid loves monster trucks. So here we go. Competition checker, 37 products online, 33 with BSR, graded it an A. So how about that? We used the trend tracker. We ran it through advanced competition checker. Oh, maybe it's a glitch. Every time I come out and come back in, it resets the score to F. So maybe that's it. Might just be a quick little bug there, but initially it did look like it was graded high. And in my personal opinion, using my free method for niche research and validation, I would say that this niche does look like a grade A niche, ripe with potential, not too many results to compete with, lots of low BSRs, and they're not so low that they're going to drive a bunch of new sellers to the niche. So I would say this has some potential there. And also obviously lots of sub niche potential here. You can see monster trucks being spun off to also celebrate birthdays and whatnot. So that is also how I do my free validation, by the way. I use my search merch tool and I type in the keywords. Now, by the way, if you want to see an example of sub niching, what if I just said monster trucks, search? Monster trucks, 760 results. I'm sure that number is probably higher. It should be. And this seems quite broad, like 760. That's also a lot more than the 300 we just saw. We would also then scan through the BSRs. We're noticing more results indexed and lower BSRs on average. So a good example of, okay, what if we just scrolled through here until we found that shirt that said, I'm just a kid or this kid loves monster trucks. All of a sudden we say, okay, well, can I niche down from the monster trucks parent niche to this kid loves monster trucks? Oh, we just cut the results in half And the BSRs are still very attractive, especially for what could be evergreen niches. So yeah, check that out. DS Amazon Quick View is the Chrome extension you need to see the search results with the bestseller rank that you see loading up underneath all of the results here. So go ahead and grab that. It's free. I'll put a link in the description. All right, and then last but not least, I promised you guys we would check out Merch Ninja. So this is actually the tool I use when I do my top 5 niches of the week. It's my favorite because it is the fastest. It returns results very quickly. They're also constantly adding new functionality to it. For instance, they just added a new trademark checker that is truly amazing. I'll probably save that for another video though, just to give it its time in the spotlight. But anyways, if you guys are interested in checking out Merch Ninja, there is a link in the description as well. This is how I use it. So I come over here to trends. You can open up top sales, top BSR, BSR winner. BSR loser is not really useful for research. You can look at new designs, although that's not really that useful either. BSR winner would be where I would go if I wanted to monitor new designs, because at least BSR winner is showing us that things are trending in a sense. At least they're getting recent sales. And then you can also always check removed designs, which I do feature in my top 5 niches. And you can see what sort of shirts are being removed. Although again, it's defaulted to Germany, so you got to hit that .com and then click apply. And now we're getting the shirts removed from the US markets. By the way, someone figured out why the Biden-Harris shirts are getting removed. And it's because you're not supposed to use the Joe Biden logo without permission from the people running his campaign. So be careful with that. All right, BSR winners of the day. This is looking at recent sales data. Again, got to switch it to US market here. And it's looking for products with a BSR that fell off a cliff. Now, while that normally has a negative connotation, again, lower BSR means more sales. It's a good thing. So here we see, I'm sure we could just click any one of these. If I click this hammerhead shark shirt, I click the little caret arrow up there, and we get some more in-depth information about the listing. As you can see here, BSR history 30 days. Check that out. 17 August, BSR. What is that, million? Yeah, it is. 2.6 million BSR, and then look at that, fell off a cliff. Now it's at 233,000 BSR. So they are getting some nice recent sales, and the BSR gainer is a nice way of potentially spying on new trends. If you're the person that you want to hit it big with a big trend, I mean, BSR winner is a good way of potentially finding new ones rather than looking for, evergreens. You would want to chase things that could potentially be in really high demand recently. Now, it's not guaranteed though. That's the thing. Like, it could just be a fluke. Someone could have just came in and bought 3 of that shark t-shirt and then just crashed the BSR to 233K. Just so you know. All right, top designs by BSR. This is also including some KDP books. So that first one, the Dream Journal, that is a KDP book. Oh, this is also German market. Again, filter it to US. There we go. I don't know how to filter out the KDP books, but it's also, some of them are kind of funny, like this one, Things to Do While You Poo on the Loo. So guys, I'm going to talk more about KDP in the near future. It is almost my 1-year anniversary as a KDP seller. And I did join KDP right before the 4th quarter started last year and made $3,500 of profit in my first 10 weeks. So yeah, I'm planning on talking KDP pretty soon. So here we are, we're top designs by BSR. And what this is really saying is these are the best-selling Amazon merch t-shirts. It's not indexing non-Amazon merch t-shirts, because guys, there's other ways to sell t-shirts on Amazon. You can open up a Seller Central account and you can list products for sale through there. Like, that's how I sell through FBA, through my Seller Central account. But if we are trying to do Amazon merch research, I'm in agreement that we should filter out the non-merch products, because most of them aren't even Prime eligible. So they're not really posing too much of a threat to us, at least in my mind. I think with the Prime eligible tag, you're going to get way more sales, most likely, at least over time, than your FBM counterparts, your FBM competition. So here we go. Again, this is similar to what we looked at in Merch Informer, although they required us to include a seed keyword. So I typed in funny, and then it returned the best-selling results indexed on that keyword. But here you don't have to do that. You can just click Top Designs by BSR, and it returns what's currently selling really well on Amazon merch. Again, this is not doing anything for us as far as competition goes, but personally speaking, I always go to my search merch tool. I do a keyword check. I look at the number of results returned. I use DS Amazon Quick View. I look at the average BSR, and then I make up my mind for myself of whether or not that niche is worth pursuing or not anyways. But I'm sure most of you guys are going to like Merch Informer probably a little bit more because it gives you that A to F grade. I know that's also what makes tools like Jungle Scout so popular for FBA sellers, because it doesn't just validate the niche for you by returning relevant data. It also gives you a like a niche score on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is the highest. And I know a lot of people like the ease of trusting the apps. But one thing I'd say is like, don't be overly trusting in these apps. You also should get comfortable eventually like doing your own research. It is possible. Amazon gives us that BSR data point. They also give us that other important data point of number of results returned on those keywords. So my advice is just get comfortable with that. But this wasn't meant to be a full review of like either Merch Informer or Merch Ninja. So I'm not covering like the full spectrum of what either tool includes. I just wanted to show you how you can use them to get started with your niche research. And then also niche validation. As far as Merch Informer goes, it attempts to give you that validation. I also like to use the search merch tool that I built for free. Link in the description if you want to check that out for validation as well. But guys, I hope this video helped. If it did, all I ask, hit that like button, let the YouTube algorithm know. And oh yeah, last thing I'd like to ask is if you end up signing up for any of these tools and you use the links in the description, you're supporting the channel, which is always appreciated. I've also got that coupon code for Merch Informer, 20% off if you end up using them. Besides that, guys, yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you tomorrow for the story of the 7-figure Amazon seller. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you tomorrow.
Passive Income School is open. Enroll now at ryansmethod.com. Thank you.